Okay, 14. Here we go.
To express to the call taker exactly why you shot both of John, didn't you?
It wasn't, I couldn't even express everything I was feeling.
What you didn't say to the call taker not one single time was that he was coming at me. You didn't say that, did you?
Your Honor, he's testifying. He's saying what she didn't say. He's introducing negative evidence. Are we really going to sit here and waste the jury's time on everything she didn't say? She didn't say what the weather was like. She didn't say what the street was like. She didn't say what the traffic conditions. Is that what we're here for, Your Honor? So the DA can testify to what she didn't say? How about we stick to what she did say? You attorneys are kind of weak when it comes to other attorney and judges. You think you're a bad Joe when you want to tell everybody, I'm an attorney, I'm a tough guy, and then you get in a courtroom and it's like you check your balls at the door and you turn into a little weasel. Now this DA, because he's got the power of the government behind him, he likes to front and pick on people that can't fight back, so he's a coward in my book. He's not a good lawyer, he's not a good prosecutor, he's not representing the people and getting a fair conviction and trying to get justice. That's not what he's doing. He's trying to beat up on somebody that's facing life in prison that made a horrible mistake, and he's using that as an opportunity to feel tough and big. Meanwhile, her attorney is over there checking his nuts at the door, not saying a damn word. I just don't get it.
I didn't say it, but I know he did.
Ms. Guyger, I'm just going to ask.
See, he interrupted her. He keeps cutting her off, and she can't get her message out. And not only is she allowing it, her attorney's allowing it. She needs to make sure that the jury hears what she has to say. She's on the stand. The DA is not on the stand. She's on the stand. Don't let government manipulate you like that. I would much rather get chewed out by a judge or an attorney for doing something that I shouldn't do and get my point across than keep my mouth shut, not get chewed out, and end up in prison. That seems like a pretty easy choice for me. But obviously no one has educated this girl about that. I wish I could have talked to her before she testified, or maybe sit in a courtroom with her and do a mock trial with her and chew her up and teach her how to defend herself. Because it's obvious her attorney didn't do it.
Ask you to answer my questions, okay?
Yes, sir.
You didn't say was that he was coming at me. You didn't say that, did you?
I didn't say it, but I know he did.
Ms. Guyger.
See, he cut her off. The jury may have not heard that she said, I know he did, because he was talking over her. And that's an easy objection, Your Honor. He's not letting her finish her statement. He's interrupting her. Can we have the witness repeat her answer because the DA interrupted her and jumped out another question? Can I have the question reread and her answer reread? I'm going to have the jury hear it twice. I'm going to have them hear it when the court reporter rereads her question and answer, and then I'm going to have them ask her again and have her say it again. That's how you punish a DA and you keep him from doing this shit. If her attorney would have done that, she would have never said on a stand that I meant to kill a guy. This is all leading up to the I got you moment by the DA getting her to admit that she meant to kill the guy. Absolutely outrageous. This is offensive to me, and it's just sad when I see somebody like this who's not familiar with the system get beat up and railroaded.
I'm just going to ask you to answer my questions, okay?
Oh, so now he's going to... Now, Your Honor, he's chewing out my witness. He's treating her like it's his child. Is he the father? I mean, what... Does my witness really have to sit here, my client have to sit here and listen to him tell her that we know he has to she's trying to answer his questions. He keeps interrupting her. If he will let her answer, I'm sure she'll be happy to answer. There's 1,000 things that this lawyer could be arguing to the judge, and he hasn't said a damn word. Ah.
Yes, sir.
You didn't say one time.
She was trying to answer his question.
Your Honor, my question.
Oh! Holy shit, he did object. Thank God. Like I said, this is the first time I'm hearing this, so I don't know. He finally objected.
You didn't say one time.
She was trying to answer his question.
Your Honor.
I object. She was trying to answer the question.
My question. I'm sorry. One time.
She was trying to answer his question.
Your Honor, my...
See how the DA immediately jumped? The DA's a bully. See how he immediately jumped in and he was going to try to cut the judge off before the judge could even hear his objection? He was immediately, and the judge must have gave him a look, because you notice he shut up. Listen to the dynamics of this. I'm going to play it again. He objects that she was trying to answer, and the DA immediately jumps on him about his question, and then he stops because I think the DA or the judge gave him a look. Listen to that again.
Yes, sir.
You didn't say one time.
She was trying to answer his question.
Your Honor, my question. I'm sorry.
See, he got the look. I'm sorry. Oh, you're going to say I'm sorry to the judge? You've been interrupting this woman on a stand for the last 15 minutes. You've been interrupting the DA or her attorney when he was trying to ask her questions every time he opened his mouth. And now you're going to look at the judge and go, I'm sorry. Mr. DA, you are a punk. You only give anybody respect that can freaking push back. And you can't push the judge around, so you say you're sorry to her. Meanwhile, you treat this woman and her attorney like stepchildren. Outrageous.
Is there an objection?
Yes, Judge, could you instruct the prosecutor to wait for the witness to answer the question before he interrupts?
Good. He said, I want you to instruct the prosecutor to let the witness. That's good. Now the jury knows that he shouldn't be doing that. And I don't know what's going to happen, but I think the judge is going to instruct him that in front of the jury.
Your Honor,
Allow her to answer your question.
I will, Your Honor. I asked her whether or not she...
See? I will, Your Honor, but I have an excuse. I will, Your Honor, but she wasn't answering. I will. See, the DA is very, very good at always ending on what he wants to say to make his point. And he is dominating this witness, the lawyer, the courtroom, and the jury. And he's not being held in check.
made that comment. She indicated no, she didn't. And then she went on into a narrative, Your Honor. You didn't express one time that you shot him because he was coming at you.
Are you asking me or are you telling me? I didn't make him ask me, because that sounded like a statement of fact. And that's how he's asking these questions, and it's inappropriate.
I did not on the phone.
Sorry.
See? He didn't let her finish. He interrupted her again. He's so used to it, he can't even help being a bully. Man, I hope this punk runs into me. I don't go to Dallas much, Mr. DA, but I'm pretty easy to find. Come try to bully me like that. See how that shit works out when you ain't in a courtroom, freaking punk. I'm sorry, I digress. Let me get back to my center. Okay, I'm centered. Here we go.
I did not over the phone.
You did not express one time that he was armed.
I did not.
You didn't say one time that he put you in fear.
I did not.
See? He's got her immediately answering his questions the way he wants because he bullied her, and now she's on auto mode. This is her fault. I'm not saying fault. This is her inability or lack of experience. She needs to be, let me see how she's going to answer these or how I would have stopped him on this. I'm going to go back.
Sorry.
I did not over the phone.
You did not express one time that he was armed.
I didn't know he was armed because I couldn't see his hands. It was dark. There was no lights on. That's what I testified to. That's why I didn't say anything to the dispatcher. Isn't that a better answer than I did not? I did not. No, I didn't. You see how easy it is to get manipulated if you're not up to speed and you don't understand what they're doing and why they're doing it? That's why you have an attorney looking out for your interests. Or you're supposed to.
I did not.
You didn't say one time that he put you in fear.
I did not.
I did not say he put me in fear. I didn't say a lot of things. But I've already testified that I was in fear because I couldn't see his hands and it was dark. And he came at me. And he didn't stop when I drew my guns and he was yelling at me and I thought I was in my apartment. That's what I've testified to. If you have to repeat your testimony, then repeat it. Especially if it's the point you want to get across. Don't let them ignore your past testimony and make you concentrate and give affirmative answers to shit that he's forming to where it makes you sound bad. I hope I'm getting this across. I mean, normally when I instruct, I see people's faces and I can get feedback whether I'm losing them, because sometimes I talk fast and I go a mile a minute and I lose somebody, but I can usually tell by their face whether I lost them or not. And when I'm talking on a video, I don't have that feedback. So that's why I tend to push the same point and I repeat things, because I want to make sure you understand. And I don't know if somebody watching this is like, man, you're just kind of going off. I don't really see the point, or I hope I'm making why this is critical, because the jury will only remember what they remember. If you don't make it memorable, or if you allow the most memorable part of the trial is the DA getting to badger you and just say yes sir to him 30 times, that's what they'll remember. And you don't want that.
Also, when Officers Blair and Lee arrived and came in, you met them in the hallway.
Yes, I could. Yes, I did.
You also told them that you shot a person thinking that this person was in your apartment.
I did tell them that.
You didn't say one time, I thought he was armed, did you?
I did not.
You didn't say one time he was coming at me, did you?
I did not.
And he was still alive, wasn't he?
Yes, he was.
And if you really, truly, in your heart of hearts, believed that he had a weapon or that he was really a threat, you would have told them, listen, I haven't...
That is an absolute inappropriate question. He just testified that if you feel in your heart there was no question, and now he's going to rattle off to something else and the attorney didn't do it. I was freaking shocked when I saw how much this DA got out. That's why I was pissed at the judge. Because even the judge has got to know, damn, dude, you're freaking way out of line here. The judge should be controlling this DA if the attorney isn't. Now, judges tend to stay neutral, and they don't want to influence the jury sometime, and they stay neutral. But this DA is so out of control, it's absolutely outrageous.
You didn't say one time he was coming at me, did you?
I did not.
And he was still alive, wasn't he?
Yes, he was.
And if you really, truly, in your heart of hearts, believed that he had a weapon...
You know what? I do not agree with your last statement. You just implied that I'm making this up, and in my heart, I am not sorry. I take offense to that. I am sorry, and I did not mean to kill him, and I'm sorry that he's dead. But I was in fear of my life, and just because I didn't tell the whole story that happened in 3 seconds, 2 minutes afterwards or on the phone, does not mean that I was lying or making this up, and I resent your implications, counselor. Man, I'd have slammed this freaking attorney. Oh, man, what a freaking jerk.
Or that he was really a threat. You would have told them, listen, I haven't patted him down. I haven't searched him. And I think he might have a weapon.
So now he's testifying on what she would have done. He's not, it's just outrageous what this DA is getting away with. And this is how the government will take a big poop on you and give you a one-way ticket to prison because you don't understand the system and you don't know what they're allowed to do. You don't know how to stop them. You don't know how to challenge them. And you don't know how to protect yourself on a stand. Courtroom survival is an absolute necessity in this age where everybody gets sued and everybody gets charged, and you can get charged for being the wrong color and commit the same crime as someone else does and they won't get charged. So you better learn how to survive in a courtroom, people. This set of videos ought to be mandatory watch for anybody that carries a gun. Oh, got a phone call. Hang on. Okay, back. Sorry. Here we go.
Weapon. That's what you'd do for a fellow officer, wouldn't you?
I couldn't.
So he made that whole big statement, and the final question is, that's what you do for a fellow officer, isn't it?
I felt at that time is what I felt. If
you thought that there...
See, again, she's not confident. She doesn't understand the message that she needs to send. When he asked what you would have done for a fellow officer, I'd have went, I'm not sure what you're asking, but I'm telling you, I did the best I could in that crazy, chaotic night that I regret and that I can't take back and that I'm sorry and that it was a crazy night and I still have memories and I'm seeing pictures and things that I didn't remember happen and what was going on. I am sitting here trying to be as truthful and honest and sincere as I can, and you keep attacking me like I'm trying to hide something, and I don't appreciate it. Man, I would just be all over that freaking attorney, and he'd be crying to the judge every time I did it. Your Honor, he said he's not answering my question. But at least my attorney would know, you know what, he's got a point. I probably got a good objection. And then maybe the attorney could back me up with an objection and go, hey, I remember testifying one time, and the attorney was letting this guy ask me the same question like 3 or 4 times, and he just kept badgering me. And I looked at my attorney, and he was looking down, flipping through papers, doing like they usually do, not paying attention. And so I just looked at the judge, and I go, Your Honor, since my attorney ain't going to object, I'm going to go ahead and object and say he's asked, and I've answered 3 different times now. And as soon as my attorney heard me say this, he looked up and he looks at the attorney, and the judge is staring at him, and he's like, "I'm sorry, Your Honor, I was looking for something. What just happened?" And I was like, "Thank you. You weren't paying." I didn't say it, but I was like, "Yeah, that's right. Everybody knows you're a freaking idiot, and you're sitting here not paying attention." So I mean, you have to be able to survive, or you're going to get eaten up, and she gets eaten up, unfortunately, and it's unfair and it's unjust.
There was a weapon. You would have told the other Dallas police officers coming up on scene to be cautious, wouldn't you have?
Not at that moment.
All right. So you didn't say one thing to them
No.
about any kind of threat that Mr. John posed to you at all?
Not at that moment.
See, she just said not that moment. She's letting him run his narrative. A perfect response was like, I didn't feel there was a threat to them. I already knew that I had taken care of what I perceived a threat. I knew he was down and bleeding. My main concern was to get them in there because I called 911. I wanted them to get to him quickly and get EMS or get him moved to the ambulance. I wanted them to know that the scene there was no threat because I had already dealt with the threat. So I'm not sure what you're trying to say here. I mean, she could have came back with a lot of things that pushes her agenda and pushes the facts instead of letting this damn attorney just railroad her, and she gives, "No, I didn't. No, I didn't. Yes, I did. No, I didn't." Oh, just horrible, horrible testimony on her part. This is why attorneys don't like putting clients on the stand, because they can't control them. But if you can't control them, then at least control the damn attorney that's questioning them. At least control the courtroom. At least object so you can tell your client. Hell, this attorney could say, "Your Honor, I need a moment with my client." And he could walk up to her and whisper in her ear, "You're playing the DA's game. He is making you answer his questions too quickly. Slow down. Think about your answers. And whenever you can get in what you previously testified to, repeat your prior testimony." The DA, her attorney could have went up and whispered that, and it would have saved her. It would have refocused her. He didn't do shit. He just sat over there and objected once. I know it sounds like I'm beating up her attorney. He did some things good, but I'm just telling you my opinion. You can not like me or not agree with it.
All right. You also indicated that you've never done CPR before.
Okay, we're going to start a new one because we're at 17 minutes. Sorry. I think this is 13, we're going 14, or this is 14 going 15.